Welcome, Jet fans, to another episode of the Jets Life podcast, and this one's a special one. It's on the free agency negotiating window, which just opened up about 2 hours and 10 minutes ago from the time I'm recording this video. Um, so the Jets came out with some breaking news, if you want to call it that. Right before the negotiating window opened up, they've agreed to terms with our kicker Greg Zerline on a 2-year contract, 8.4 million per year. If you're a Jet fan, you know the kicking situation has been a pretty crazy one ever since we got rid of Myers, who went to Seattle. There was a few years there where it was just kind of a revolving door at the kicker position until we got Greg Zerline signed. It was late, about 3 seasons ago. Got him pretty late in the season. We were able to extend him last year to a 1-year contract, and now after a great season last year, we've locked him down for 2 years. He'll be our starting kicker at a reasonable price, $8.4 million. I think that comes in as the 17th highest paid kicker in the league. So definitely something that the Jets were able to lock down, and we're glad they did. Don't want to have this conversation year in and year out that we need to re-sign our kicker. Um, Kicker should really just be a position that you find one, keep him there for a long time. But obviously, Greg Lug is up there in age. Um, 2-year deal makes a lot of sense for his career. Been a couple of moves here throughout the start of free agency. None significantly made by the Jets, but ones that I think that do have some level of impact for what the Jets are going to do here. Um, Landon Dixon signed a 2-year contract worth $22 million a year. And actually, there's just been reports by Garofalo of NFL Network that the Rams have agreed terms with Jonah Jackson, 3 years. Hold on, it was just up here a second ago. Sorry about that. 3 years, $51 million, 34 million guaranteed. That one's a pretty solid contract, 17 million per year for Jonah Jackson. So the biggest concern I had here going into the whole Landon Dixon signing, and I think this kind of justifies my concerns, is has that guard market increased? Because Landon Dixon did set the market. 22 million per year is the highest contract for a guard in NFL history. Now you get a guy signing just hours later, $17 million per year. When I think a lot of the guards going into free agency, we were expecting to fall in that $16 million range. So it's not a huge bump up there, but um, Jonah Jackson, good player, signs with the Rams, 17 million per year. So I think my theories on Landon Dixon's contract affecting these upcoming free agents. Oh boy, that's bad. Well, the Bryce Huff, um, he's no longer a Jet. He just agreed to terms with the Eagles. This is now just being reported by Garofalo. 3 years, $51 million is the numbers. Friggin' believable. So there you have it. Bryce Huff, our grown and developed undrafted free agent, has been signed. He's with Philly. 3 years, 51. Um, doesn't matter if he did or not, but I wonder if he did come back to Jets, given the numbers. But damn, 3 years, $51 million. That's pretty friendly. 17 million per year. It's kind of where I thought he was going to get. Maybe I even thought he could push 20. That's unfortunate. Not happy about that one. Obviously, it's going to set the world of Jets Twitter, Jets X, whatever you want to call it, on fire. I'm not thrilled with that at all. I cannot believe that just broke. Man, that's unfortunate. Anyway, so continuing here, um, I had conversation set up for Greenard. I thought his contract would set the stage for what Bryce Huff could potentially get. He signed 3 years worth 19 million per year, and obviously that was a stepping stone for what the contract for Bryce Huff would eventually look like, because he signed just south of that at around 17 million per year. So obviously, major news here. Man, that's just unfortunate. I'm lost of words. I don't understand how it got to this. We understood the player that Bryce Huff was. We understood he did everything the right way. It's basically the format of what you want a player to be within your organization. Bryce Huff followed that path. He came in as undrafted free agent. slowly developed into a situational player until last season. After the Chiefs game, he really was our our primary pass rusher. Um, Double digit sack guy. Um, Probably the best pass rusher we've had on this team since John Abraham. Obviously, John Abraham was an all down player, and that's what Bryce Huff is trying to prove that he can be at this point in time. So maybe, I mean, maybe it just wasn't ever in the cards. But anyway, yeah, Bryce Huff is gone, and we begin our next 20-year search for a pass rusher. I mean, that's how long it took us pretty much to find a true pass rusher after allowing Abraham to leave. We did get a first round pick for John Abraham and are getting nothing but compensatory pick, hopefully, for Bryce Huff. But obviously, that's a big thing that gets thrown out here. Jets are going to get a comp pick for sure, but it's also contingent on the contracts that we pay out to free agents that we're going to bring in. So that everyone's saying, "Oh, we got a third round pick for the guy." Doesn't exactly equate to that in math when you consider the fact that we're going to be bringing in a lot of free agents with the salary money that we have. But man, just so unfortunate that this front office has allowed a homegrown talent that Jets fans fell in love with to just walk away a few hours south to Philadelphia. Anyway, um, so there goes that. I mean, you know, I kind of, I mean, I thought the ring was kind of on the wall. I thought there was a very slim chance he'd be back, and there's the news. He's gone, unfortunately. But other news here, just man, that's not what I was expecting. Other news here, T. Higgins from Cincinnati has demanded a trade. What this materializes to, I have no clue. You're getting multiple reports. One from Zach Rosenblatt of the Athletic saying that the Jets, because it's going to require draft pick compensation, and because it will require a pretty hefty pay increase and a contract extension with him, the Jets will not be in on it. But then you have other reporters out there saying that the Jets will be in on it. At the end of the day, Jets need to make a phone call. At the end of the day, the Jets need a wide receiver. Um, do I believe T. Higgins is a top number one receiver? Personally, I think that you can probably do better at the position, just using your resources and team building as a whole. The Jets have a lot of holes to fill, and when you look at salary cap and draft capital, they don't have a lot of resources to make it happen. It would just really come down to what eventually does T. Higgins get traded for, but that's a job for Joe Douglas to make that phone call, see what it's worth. Is it worth it maybe to get like a package that equates to a first round pick using multiple draft picks, whether it be in future years, current years? I I think when you look at it, we have to fill three offensive line positions. If you're going to give something away that equates to a first round pick, it's obviously going to include draft capital in the current year. It would obviously have to include draft capital in the following year. If you found a way to majestically keep that 10th pick in the process of getting a trade completed for T. Higgins, then I mean, obviously, kind of explore that option for sure because you'll be able to address that wide receiver spot. But are you going to pay Mike Evans money for T. Higgins? I don't know that that's probably the best allocation of your resources, but in the same sense, the Jets don't have a lot of options on how to fix that wide receiver two spot. The phone call needs to be made. If it's something that we find out, T. Higgins got traded for, third round pick, or I think it was a fourth round pick that Amari Cooper got traded for a couple years. You'll hear an uproar. You'll hear an uproar from everything around Jets Twitter, especially the fact that we just lost a guy like Bryce Huff. Obviously, the moves aren't one in each other, but if you sold me that we lost Bryce Huff and got a guy like Mike Evans, I'd settle for, you know, the fact that we've upgraded another position drastically. We had a guy sitting in the wings behind Bryce Huff that hopefully progresses. I can see where the you can kind of live with losing a great player by bringing another great player. Does T Higgins fit that mold? I think something like that could sell the fan base a little bit, but man, losing a top notch pass rusher here to 2:20 p.m. on free agency frenzy. You're supposed to be kind of pumping up for what your team's gonna be, not losing key players. So An unfortunate way to start this whole period, but we'll see how the Jets move. We'll see how they progress. But they lost a player that plays a premium position, has an elite talent to get around that edge, and he's going to a team where a couple years ago they were in the Super Bowl and had great pass rush, and you know, unfortunate, so unfortunate. I'm just not thrilled by that at all. But anyway, um, I'll keep I'll keep posting videos here as more information comes available. But for now, that's all I have here, Jet fans. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. It's important to help me grow, and hopefully the rest of the day has some positivity. I guess it's the worst that could happen. I don't know if there's really many other free agents that we didn't want to lose at this point in time. I mean, we do have a few free agent safeties, but yeah, just completely unfortunate the Jets allowed this to happen. But again, like and subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, let's go Jets.